100, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
Hello and welcome back to Cardiff Airport. After the first morning wave has been completed, the second traffic wave of the day is well on its way. While the airport management has been working hard behind the scenes to attract new airlines to the airport, the ground crews are taking care of the daily challenges that arise with the traffic that already is coming to the airport. At the terminal, a Embraer of British Airways is starting its preparations for the next flight to Edinburgh after it 25 minutes ago arrived from Manchester. Next to the BA Embraer, we find an Embraer ERJ145 of Luxair. The aircraft that, according to the schedule, should be pushing out of the ramp now for its return flight to Luxembourg seems to have some issues with its turnaround as boarding hasn't started yet. Things do seem to go better over here with the turnaround of this Embraer ERJ170 of Lot Polish Airlines that is about to finish boarding its passengers, and that with 10 minutes to spare before its scheduled departure to Warsaw. 10 minutes ago, this Airbus A320 of BMI arrived from London Heathrow and is currently deboarding its passengers and offloading its cargo. The return flight is scheduled for 10:15 in the morning. About to pull into the ramp with about 30 minutes delay is this Boeing 737-800 of Turkish Airlines that has arrived from Istanbul to where it will be returning. However, a on-time departure will be a challenge due to the late arrival. A brand new airline at Cardiff is Germanwings that has established two new routes to Cardiff. The first one, today operated by this Airbus A319, is yet again connecting Cardiff with Hamburg. The aircraft is in the middle of its turnaround with a planned departure set for 10 minutes to 10. Next to the Germanwings, we find the Boeing 757-200 of Continental Airlines that arrived 6:30 in the morning from New York Newark. The aircraft will remain at the airport grounds until 20 minutes past 10 in the morning when it will start its return flight. Already at the end of its turnaround is the second Germanwings A319 of the day that today is operating on the second new route to Cardiff. The aircraft that is in pushback will now get on its way to Berlin-Schönefeld Airport with an on-time departure. And with that, it is time for the news. Air Berlin to return. After the airline in 2003 had closed its Berlin-Tegel route, the airline has now decided to make a comeback at Cardiff Airport. The new route will however connect Cardiff with Düsseldorf and will be operated in direct competition to Eurowings, who already are flying on the route. The BA to open Munich route. Today, the German airline announced that the airline will start flying to and from Munich already from August and in direct competition to Lufthansa that already operates on the route. New union. Airport staff voted today in favor of starting a new union to strengthen workers' rights at the airport. This move is seen as a direct response to recent speculations about possible pay cuts in the future. The airport management was not available for a statement. New Detroit route. Northwest Airlines was today unveiled as the next North American carrier that will start a route to Cardiff. The airline is expected to operate the new route to Detroit using Airbus A330-300 aircraft. Olympic frequency reduction. The airline that had increased its frequencies to Cardiff in 2004 in order to facilitate increased tourism to Greece pushed by the 2004 Summer Olympics in Athens has announced that it will return its frequencies to 2003 levels, as the airline has noted a drop in passenger numbers. Over at the remote stands, we find this McDonnell Douglas MD-90 of Nordic Aviation that is operating the route to Copenhagen on behalf of Scandinavian Airlines. Right now, the very last preparations for the return flight are being completed, so the aircraft will be leaving shortly. Icelandair has today deployed one of their 757-300s on the Cardiff-Reykjavik route. After having arrived at 10 minutes to 9, the aircraft is right now being refueled, loading catering, and has started to load first luggage for the return flight. Next we have this Embraer ERJ-145 of British Airways that, after it arrived from Glasgow, in 20 minutes time will be making its way back to Scotland, but this time to Aberdeen. 10 minutes ago, this Bombardier Dash 8 Q400 of Flybe arrived from the Scottish capital Edinburgh. Right now, the last passengers are deboarding the aircraft that will be brought to the terminal by bus. At 10 minutes past 10, the aircraft will make its way to Liverpool. This 737-200 of Ryanair that arrived from Bergamo 5 minutes past 9 in the morning has now 10 minutes remaining on the ground before it is scheduled to fly to Alicante in Spain, but with boarding still to begin, this seems rather tight. Only 5 minutes longer, according to the schedule, will the 737-700 of Hapag-Lloyd Express remain on the ground. Also here, boarding hasn't started as the aircraft still is being refueled for its flight back to Hanover. Now with that, let's head even further out to our GAT and maintenance areas. Runway and accelerating towards takeoff speed is the 737-200 of Ryanair that will be departing to Krakow after it earlier in the morning arrived from Bratislava. Holding short of the runway right now is this Boeing 737-800 of Sun Express that will be returning to Antalya at the Turkish Mediterranean coast. Things seem quiet at the GAT right now, except for this former Japan Airlines DC-10 that, after having left the JAL fleet, has been purchased by a private owner and now is being guided past the GAT and towards the maintenance area. The plane started its journey from Tokyo Narita, flew over Moscow, and will now be taken care of by BA Maintenance, where it will be repainted and receive a new cabin as soon as the British Airways 747-400 has cleared the hangar. In front of the hangar on the left side we have this Airbus A320 that had been in for maintenance overnight and now will re-enter into service starting with the midday rotation to London Heathrow. While the new terminal extension still is under construction, some of the stands are already being used. Passengers are however being brought to these stands by bus for the time being. Today the area is rather busy with the 737-500 of Air Baltic, where bosses right now are waiting for the signal from the cabin to start offloading passengers. With 20 minutes until departure, passengers will however need to remain patient as the cabin isn't quite ready yet to take on passengers for the return flight to Riga. Also still in preparations for its next flight is this Boeing 737-500 of Estonian Air that is connecting Cardiff with the Estonian capital city of Tallinn. And our last aircraft of today is this Fokker 100 of Helvetic that is flying between Cardiff and Zurich. There has been a change of the cabin crew that shortly will be brought to the terminal by bus, while the new cabin crew will prepare the cabin for the next passengers. Now with that, we have reached the end of today's episode. If you have enjoyed the video, then hit that like button, and if you are new around here, why not hit subscribe. With that, see you in the next episode of Cardiff.
I'm going all the way up. I'm going all the way up. I'm letting go in my heart of everything that holds me down. And it's feeling like I'm in the groove. I can feel the love. Oh yeah, it's all around me. Oh, I need flashing bright in my eyes. Look up to the sky and I got this will